And the bottom left playing is Elodie. We have Thermaldynamics up against Stargen playing Vesper up in the top. Interesting choices. Elodie's really strong and ominous just because you have an aggressive side. Slow charge groove tends to build around the time that you hit your opponent's stronghold, or you get it fairly quickly after you reach that point. But Vesper is incredibly strong, so I'm curious to see like how this is going to play out. Right, they're both just going forwards. Elodie just heals. Makes sense. That's the around the amount of health you get. You need to be to knock down a freshly captured village. And we see Vesper just going for the kind of bigger heal. Okay, Thermal's just gonna go for a delayed second heal. Makes sense. It keeps you in the money for a couple turns as opposed to like, dumping it all in one turn. But Stargen, yeah, they're full health. They're looking aggressive. They've got a couple good targets here. Like this village is probably going to go down. Thermal, wow, they're being almost, I would say, almost risky by taking that. It kind of delays knocking down more villages, but this actually should be fine, knocking down this village over here. Stargen pulls back, doesn't heal, doesn't need to, and actually, yeah, that sword's going to be fine. Moves over here, we see this village in the center going down. And now the threat on the stronghold itself exists. Like Vesper could just walk up and start pummeling it. Although that dragon does change things. So probably not going to see Vesper just walk up. Okay. Gonna see Vesper hit that village. Alright, now spears are coming forwards. Okay, Elodie's just gonna back up. Only needs one more. Actually, just one more fight would do it at this point. 80%, gonna be 85 at the end of this turn, so. Yeah, one fight gives 10 plus 5 passive, so. Yeah, just needs to hit something next turn. Doesn't need to kill anything. Stargen, on the other hand, what are they looking at? Oh, they get the kill. Brings them up to 90. Nice sword crit. And there's going to be a mage to back this up. And a witch to back it up too. So this dragon not going to be able to be that aggressive. Mostly it's just going to be trying to find some kind of hole it can poke. And wow, Thermal's being very aggressive here. This dragon's so aggressive. And I think that's actually just going to take a hit from the witch, most likely. I mean, that was a lot of damage on that turn, but Stargen, the counterattack's going to be pretty strong here. Mage almost gets the kill. 99% health. Yeah, Vesper clears a path. Yeah, Witch just gets a free hit on the dragon. And Stargen, yeah, getting ready for this defense. Elodie's going to be able to steal either a spear or a knight. And Thermal, they bought enough time for this golem to get to the front. And now that's blocking. And now Thermal's actually deciding not to go aggressive, wants to go more defense. And Dragon pulls back. Gets a small heal off. Okay. Both knights get the roll they need. Those were some 7 health villages. They're always a bit of a risk. Yeah, now Stargen's just going to push along this left-hand side. Elodie's one turn away from having Groove, so this is, I guess, like the last turn this knight can be this aggressive up close and personal. Knight's, of course, a very good unit to steal with Elodie. This golem. Now just going to force Stargen back. They're going to have to play a bit more passively. And there is a thief out on this side. I'm not sure where Stargen's thief is right now. In this, potentially? It is in the barge, okay. Right, Stargen recapturing this left-hand side. Thief is positioned to steal from this village. And they're now going to push back. Normally the front you would expect your opponent to be pushing you into, but things are switching up. It's the stronghold front that's the strong side for both players. Alright, Thief manages to find a steal, and it's actually relatively close to the hideout too, so that's going to be able to move back. And this Thief over here is actually really far away from like basically anything it would want to steal from. The only real... actually, that isn't even a good target. Yeah, there is no like target for this Thief to steal right now, so Stargen just going to be a little bit behind on that economy game. And yeah, the Thief kind of just backs up. Stargen sitting on that groove, both of them sitting on that groove. And getting ready just for like a very aggressive turn. Elodie needs to just position herself somewhere where she can potentially steal something and just kind of force the issue, but has to be careful because Elodie, her weakness is she has to go in and be close and personal, and Vesper would love that because, you know, you can potentially get a surround and then you drop smoke and then you just kill her the next turn. So it's going to be a lot of jockeying for position in this game. They're both going to be very careful. Like, you can't let Elodie get too close because she might grab a dragon, for example, and that would be really bad. But she could also just die if she overextends at any point. So it's just going to be both players kind of being very passive, very careful. Probably going to try and like see thief steals come in where they can, and just very split map situation here. That isn't the best play here. Because Thief can basically steal it for free now. Yeah, Knight's just come into cover. Thief still comes in. And the Thief is still quite a ways away. So that's going to take a while to get that money returned. Stargen. I think that was the 1% health. That was like the 99% health mage. Even heals that up to full. And why not? It's only 4 gold, so worth getting up just in case. Alright, what are we seeing here? Just more jockeying for position. We might just see a huge mass of units build up. And that honestly favors Vesper, because what Vesper wants is one huge turn where a ton of army can just run in to the opponent and do damage. Oh, this thief's actually gonna go the long way back. And yeah, Stargen just kind of slowly rotating, making sure nothing's exposed to Elodie. And you know, the threat on the stronghold's real now. Like, this could be like 3 turns away from victory. But yeah, they're both playing this very slow, methodical game. Knight gets picked off. Ooh. Nice use of the balloon. Gets those spears forward. Yeah, just slowly shuffles more and more forwards. Wants to threaten with this golem, because the thing that can kill the golem is something like a dragon or like a bunch of knights. And yeah, if those go in, then you know you're looking at steals coming in as well. Okay. A whole bunch of stuff coming on this right hand side. There's no anti-air close enough, so this dragon's only gonna take damage from like an archer. And there's more positioning. You're just gonna put cheap units in range of Elodie. Wall with things like swords. And yeah, this thief is now, well, like 3 turns away from returning with money. This one down here is probably gonna get a second steal fairly soon. Alright, big hex comes in. Clips a golem and a knight. And a dragon. Actually 2 knights. It's looking pretty good. And it's just like a ton of damage. Thermal looking pretty good, but they are running down on time. 19 minutes left on the clock right now, and the armies are so big that this is where Stargen's ultra fast playstyle comes into play. And, ooh, nice combination using the archer to go with the golem there. Guarantees that the golem won't take damage, and the village will go down. Okay, Stargen's like, yeah, I took a bunch of damage that turn, but now is the time where I can do damage back. Big golem crit. And I do believe this is going to be the turn where smoke gets put down. There's so much here that could potentially get killed. Alright, smoke shrouds. Yep. Just going to keep the army safe. Even finds like a just nice free hit on that sword over there. I thought the archer would actually move forward to hit this golem, but decides against it. Stargen looking pretty good. This sword probably could have done something. Like just run into the smoke, for example. But Stargen kind of just leaves it there. It is doing a nice job blocking for the moment. Right, Elodie's moving into position. Archer comes in. Spear goes down. Yep, archer plus dog will pretty much always kill a spear. Probably would have liked to have done the harpy first there, but these are very small optimizations you can make. X comes in. And this is something that gets talked about, and maybe it's like a bit of an overestimation of like how good it is, but being able to hex units in the smoke is incredibly useful at points. So it just chips away at these. The stronghold, there is quite a bit of pressure on the stronghold actually. And we'll see if that comes into play at all. Alright, nice crit on that harpy. Ooh, interesting. Oh, that sword living on 1% is actually very annoying, but nice low health sword here, can help with that. Big archer crit. Oof. And the big knight crit follow up. Takes a huge counter hit damage. But I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Alright, what are we going to see? 11%. Ooh, archer can definitely get the kill on that. Decides not to go for it. Just leaves the dragon on low health. And Stargen, okay, they're just going to be more defensive on this side of the map. They did their damage. They're going to pull back. Like this mage. They're just going to sack it. It did the damage it needed to. Heavily injured that dragon. And yeah, just a couple swords to follow up. And they're thermal. Okay, what are they going to do? Potentially they could grab a golem. And that looks like it's the play. So, nice 2,400 golds advantage from that. Plus the damage it's about to do this turn. Ooh, golem crit in return, but the mage follow up is nice. That takes down an archer. So big plays coming in from Thermal. And Oh wow, that mage lives. Oh, it's actually extremely rare for a knight not to kill. So just a rather unfortunate turn of events there. I think the dragon, yeah, the dragon's just going to come in and finish that off. And probably should have done that the other way around. But both swords take damage, so it doesn't matter that much. Thermal, wow, doesn't even buy extra units. I think they realize that they're so low on time that they have to just kind of end the game right now. Okay, dragon, yeah, that's going to finish the golem off. Sacks a knight. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be killed. Sword crit, archer, golem, Vesper. And that was a nice bait there from Stargen with their golem. Just sacks it, allows Thermal to get the steal, because they know that Elodie will be in a position where they will probably get killed for it. It definitely had enough units in position. Like using a low health knight on an enemy commander, like that kind of suicides. Not everybody thinks of that, but Stargen did. It did quite a lot of damage and allowed the opening for the KO. So very well played there by Stargen, taking that. In what was a much longer game. Very slow paced, both like a big staring contest between the two commanders, because when you're playing against Elodie, you kind of just have to back off. You can't put anything expensive near her. And it's not quite the same with Vesper. Against Vesper, it's just like you just can't step forwards because Smoke Cloud will allow a huge turn of damage, potentially a wraparound on your commander, and they throw smoke down on it, and then you're just kind of dead at that point. So, nicely played there by Stargen. Once again, we see a Vesper do very well. And we're just going to take a look at these stats. So, quick refresh on these. And actually very similar throughout a lot of the game. Thermal's just a little bit ahead on economy. It just had a bit more income advantage. This is of course purple is of course Elodie in this example, and black is going to be Vesper. So yeah, just a bit of an income advantage all game, but didn't matter too much. Army value, like maybe a little bit in Thermal's advantage, but nothing like big enough to make a huge difference. And then combat unit count, Stargen's actually pretty much ahead the whole game. So a little bit of reversal there. And then yeah, Groove. Yeah, they take a while to get Groove charged up, and then eventually it gets used. And we of course see Elodie go down on that last turn.